Yo, 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 what's up? What's up, people? Mundo in the house. Charlie, welcome, welcome, my friend. I hope you have a great workout tonight while you're listening. And we'll wait to see if other people come on in here pretty soon. We're going to continue working on prepping the chassis here for the balance, which is that one right there, that black one. Sitting right in the middle, right in the middle there. So tonight, yeah, I kind of worked on it a little bit, and I finally got some stuff in to try to work on the blade too tonight. Titan, what up, Titan? Titan's in the house. Welcome, welcome. How was y'all's week? I had a pretty decent week, man, and my daughter came. My oldest is here visiting tonight, and so I was out there visiting with her for a little while, talking daddy and daughter stuff and before the show. So hopefully before the show's over I'll get to see her before she takes off and stuff. If not, if you hear her come and say bye, no worries, it's all good because it's what daddies do, right? We had a pretty good daughters national daughters happy National Daughters Day, right? And then it's Son's Day now. So for those of you who have a son, happy Son's Day. For those of you who had daughters and I didn't get a chance to say this, well, happy National Daughters Day to y'all guys. Late. So cheers to all the fathers out there. Anyway, so we're gonna continue. I'm gonna turn on my iron, guys. I forgot to turn it on a little bit earlier, and we're gonna continue working on the chassis prep and stuff. Um, Sorry about that. I actually went and I got me some more soldier on Friday because I was running a bit low and and I'm just not so it's looking like a little icky, right? So I'm like, yeah, I think it's time to toss the old one out, even though I could probably still use it. But I got some clean stuff, people. Let's see how it looks. I haven't even opened this yet. Ooh, look at that. Man. Wow, I wasn't expecting that paste like that. Ooh, I thought it would have been a little different. But okay. So, lead-free tinning flux. All right. So we're gonna have some good stuff right here too. So it'll be good to work with this stuff, just like that other one. The other one was water-based too. This one I don't think is so much as water-based. Skin burn. So yeah, make sure that you don't put this stuff on your fingers, and if you do, make sure you have something to clean it with, 'cause this stuff can get to you, irritating your skin. So make sure that when you get flux and you use flux on your stuff, always make sure you got some water close by. Uh, I always have some water close by just in case that I need to hurry up and rinse my hands with. Uh, I and believe me, and also make sure you take every precautions with safety, safety glasses and stuff like that. And just use common sense, people. And this is more or less for the newbies, not the ones that already know what they're doing. The ones that already know what they're doing, they know what I'm talking about. And I hope that everybody who does and appreciates stuff like this, especially the new people that are coming into the hobby, make sure that you take every precaution available that you have to you, face mask, eyewear, and everything if you're going to do stuff that's up and close and personal. A lot of time, what I'm also working on is I've got a regular fan, and I'm going to set up that fan where, and I don't know if I had, oh, I had this sitting with this little fan like this, so I'm going to take this off actually. I'm going to take this off, and what I am going to do is just the fan itself, though, and I could probably do that right now, is just to take the fan out. And let me see here. All right. Okay, see, there's the little fan. And the little fan is adequate for just a short period of time, and it's not a real big, by no means is it going to work the way I thought it would work. But if you see right here, I have charcoal filter right there, and it's going to go in through here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my big regular box fan. I'm going to set it out to the side in front of me. And so what I'll do is I'm going to hook this up. I'm going to have the box fan. I'm going to get another filter to go in there. And this is going to go right on top of that filter. And then I'm going to enclose everything in, and then I'll have this sitting up here on my desk, so to speak. The chair will be on the other side of the workbench right here where I'm at, and so I'll be able to turn on that fan. And when I turn on that fan, all of the fumes from when I'm soldering should potentially, in theory, get sucked up into here and out through there, and everything, all the good air will go back into the garage, and all the bad air will be filtered through the charcoal filter, right? So um, that way I can have a safer area for when I'm soldering and stuff. If I'm soldering a lot, then yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have less fumes hitting me as possible. I could wear a face mask and everything, but I prefer not to wear a face mask if I can get that soldier fumes away from me that way, so that I can be a lot more comfortable. Now, in prepping for the balance on here, and let me just go back, and for the people, new people that are watching this and everything for the first time, thank you if you're just now coming through the channel. Um, this right here, this chassis system was provided to me by Rich Sangillo, and he makes some amazing chassis. If you have never had the pleasure of having him make you one, hit him up, and I promise you, you will not be sorry with your chassis choices. I mean, they look, amazing. They are amazing, and they just really, really great. And I'm dropping all kinds of things. Actually, I'm just dropping the power terminals. Keep in mind that I did not put any glue on them, E6000 more or less, because I wasn't sure how I was going to orientate them, and I still not sure. So um, they either the power is going to be towards the positive is going to be towards the front, or the positive is going to be towards the back. But I think the negative I'm going to go ahead and actually put towards the speaker area, and the positive towards the front area, and work it that way. Now, you know, in doing some of these preps, I do have a messed up CFX in here, because the CFX is going to go and fit in here very nicely, as you can see, right? And on this side, of course, I have my speaker wires just sitting out right there right now, so that way they'll be put into play here later on. These will probably be one of the last wires that I put in there. What I've been doing to kind of prep um the surface for painting on here, and I still have a long way to go, you I still have a long way to go. And so what I've been doing is I've taken a file just like this, right? I think I got these, I don't know, either at the dollar store or um maybe Walmart. I can't remember where I got these. And later on, um, I've also got like 100 grit sandpaper that I got from the dollar store, little squares, and they work out pretty damn good. So don't knock the dollar store squares for sandpaper, because man, I tell you, see, this is 100 grit right here. Um, and I tell you, these little squares just like this do just as good as you buying a whole bunch with sheets in there. I can buy probably 15 or 20 packs of these for the same price that you would get over there at Home Depot or something. Um, right? And I have a shitload of these squares to just take care of everything. Very cheap, man. Very cheap. So something like this, right? I mean, you just kind of take your time, roll it up if you need to, or sometimes what you can do is just kind of cut a little piece off and put it like on a little square of some sort, and just keep going at it like this until you get a really, really, really smooth surface, right? And the other day I was actually talking to Tano Sabers, right? Adriano. And I asked him, for a little bit of advice on how he gets his chassis so smooth for painting and everything. And he goes, man, you get your sandpaper, you get down in there with it, and then you wet sand, and your wet sand will do the rest for a very, very, very smooth surface, man. And what I didn't ask him was whether to kind of what I didn't ask him was whether he used a primer on there before he painted, or was it just straight up paint? And then I should have asked him, I didn't. I mean, you would think that the primer would go on first and then paint it, right? So it looks a lot smoother. And I believe that's probably what I'm going to do, depending on how well I can sand my chassis here. Now, I actually forgot that I went ahead and pre-wired my my little OLED screen, right? I did not realize. I did not realize. Tano, what up? I'm so glad you're here, dude. You must have heard me talking about you, dude. Yeah, cracker of sharpening a wizard's weapon. Yeah, Charlie. So Tano, I was telling everybody how you helped me out in talking about smoothing out, for the to get a smooth surface on the chassis, right? Um, you didn't. Well, it's weird, man, because I mean, you showed up right when I was talking about you, so that's freaking awesome, dude. Um, so what I was thinking is that, did you ever put primer before you painted your chassis, or did you just do straight up paint after wet sanding? Cause I'm like, I was thinking about it, and I'm all like, do I put primer before paint so that it's even smoother, or do I just paint it straight up, man? So that's what I've been thinking about, and here you go, you popped up. I'm all like, dude, that's badass. He must have been hearing me talking about him. Filler primer before painting. Okay, filler primer. Ah, got you. See, now that I think, yeah, man, I think that's gonna be what I need to do, because I was just thinking about that, but I forgot to ask you when I was texting you, and it was like, what? Yeah, I think, and I think I was gonna go ahead and do it and then ask you, and uh, sand filler primer paint and some rub and buff. Yeah, I still have yet to order the rub and buff. I haven't got there yet because I just got I actually just got a couple of pieces. Well, I'm gonna try to make another blade tonight, so I've got some pieces for another blade, and instead of using the cellophane, I went ahead and got you know the little rod right here, and the what do you call it? The foam is inside here, and so instead of using the cellophane inside the blade tonight, I'm thinking of just using the tubing here. And so right now I'm just trying to fit it, and I know it's gonna fit in there because I measured it earlier. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, and I got some new. As a matter of fact, I got my 144 LEDs in, and I got these. BTF lighting 144 per meters, right? I had seen these and I've heard some um, really good reviews on these. So let's see here. Yeah, they look pretty decent, man. You know, they look pretty decent. And I was watching the eccentric artisan earlier on how he had made to test the LEDs is to get a little piece of tubing like this, get the little target like this, put it in there, have it get set in there, and have it. Oops, let me see. Have it set in there just like that, and then that way, when you can insert, um, you can have it wired with this just like this, and then have this. When you wire it, you're gonna have this sticking out just like this right here, right? You're gonna wire everything up, and it's just I can't. Never. There we go. I'm just kind of lightly putting it all together like this. I don't want to snap everything together because I only have one PCB right here, and I'm gonna save that for the blade anyway. I'm gonna have to order some more PCBs. And then what up, right? Right, Tono? I thought that was a good idea. So that way, when you wire this up just like this, all you got to do is hook it up to your LEDs like this, stick it in the saber. JT, what up? Full suit, headed to toe. Quad star. I wish I could make a quad star, man. I got enough for to just a regular blade though. Um, So yeah, man, and you just basically stick this in your blade, in your saber, connect the blade like this, and you can test the LEDs that way. I thought that was so genius. I was like, man, this eccentric artisan, I really do hope he can come onto the show one of these days. Would love to have him on there. And I actually texted him, right? Um, you'd be the brightest at the conventions. Laugh out loud. No, JT, not me, dude. There's a lot more people who are way better at this than I am, man. Way better, and especially like the eccentric artisan. I mean, all the old guys. I mean, they're like even Tano's a lot more adapted than I am, man. Uh, I'm telling you, for somebody who has dyslexia, who see things backwards and everything, I get by. I get by, and I can learn. Right? I can learn. It takes a long time for me to learn. And LED suit, an LED suit. Oh my God, that would be kind of cool, right? That'd take a really long time for me to do, though. If I did that, man, it would take a long time. Um, so going back, to the LEDs and testing those, I mean, that would be freaking amazing like that, right? It would save a lot of time. It would save a lot of time in just taking these off, s- turn on your saber, click this in, and geez, right? Quad star roaming around. I need a quad star. I need to make a quad star. I do, man. Eventually I'll go and I'll buy the Quad Star kit, and I'll get Anthony to help me out on that, right? Um, so I've got my buttons set up, right? Everybody who was on the last show saw me. We got the buttons set up. We got the buttons tested out. So the buttons are good to go. The kill switch is pretty much ready to go. We've got the two wires set up right here. And I did a new schematic download and print. I need this bastard. I told you the next time that we were gonna come on, I was gonna have a schematic because I didn't have one on me, and I got one printed out just today, this afternoon. I was like, oh shit, I need my printout. Right now, the funny thing is that I don't have in here. I don't have room um for shoot that BT09, right? For the what do you call it? Where you can use your phone to turn it on and everything. And I was like, oh, well, I don't have to look at that, but I do got the OLED right here. They can wire up into there. I've got my buttons just like this right here. So, and then of course I'm going to use the CC, pixel ring right here. That's going to fit perfectly. Um, oops, shoot. Let's see. It's going to fit perfectly right into here, and I'm not going to push it down in there because then it'll stay in there. So, yeah, I got to get this. I got to get this wired up and situated in there, and see. I need to run my wires and how. Let me see. Actually, I need to probably grab me a 22 gauge wire red and see how long I need for it to be here and there. So, because the 22 gauge wire will go not only right here up to the pins, but also back here to the board, or, you know, because the kill switch has the two negatives. So one of the switch leads right here will go to the board, and the other will go to the negative uh on the battery. So on the battery terminal. And that will be that. But I need to see also. Now, the OLED screen that I got I wired probably about a month ago, and I totally forgot about it, right? So let's see how that's gonna come into play on here. And let me get all of these wires going down right in here and see how that's gonna come out. So that, of course, I'm gonna pull that off on there, but man, that's gonna look pretty snazzy right there, guys. Look at that. That's gonna look pretty cool. And it looks like I've got enough wire there to get into the board. I may have to shorten a few of these up. Um, you know what? I might have to shorten these up because as of right now, they are kind of long. If you kind of look in there, they are a little bit long right there. So yeah, I am gonna have to kind of cut them down a little bit. So probably before I glue this in, I am probably going to cut them down, make sure that they're going into the proper channels over here into the CFX. And then once I get all of these in here wired up properly, then I will go ahead and kind of um, glue in this OLED screen right there. So, and you want to make sure that and I'm sure Tano and a few others can agree with me though, is that, proper wire management. You don't want to have like your bare wires like that long. I mean, you only need like that much on there, just enough to have the soldier fit right on there, and that's it, man. You don't need too much. Um, you want just enough to cover the wire completely, and that's it. Because then you can run the chance of frying your board or all kinds of wonky things happening, man. And I killed, two boards already, two CFXs. I'm not going to ruin the third one. Now, again, Rich has made this beautiful crystal chamber to go in there. And let me pop this sucker on in here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put, let's say I've got all the wires down, gone in here. And I'm going to just kind of get in the groove. Groove is in the heart. And these damn things are not cooperating with me. I think I need more beer. And whiskey for my men, beer for my horses, right, guys? And let's see, let's make sure that none of these are going to pop out. Because this is pressure fitted. I mean, I really don't need glue. on here. And okay, I'm not gonna push it down all the way because I just don't. I want to leave some room to pop it back out. But look at that. If you can see that right there with the OLED, and you know what? Well, I've got that. Let me grab. Let me grab. And then I know this is probably going to be sucking because these wires are going to not go down all the way. I'm going to have a problem with the wires later on, I bet. For right now, just because I got the crystal chamber in there, but that's okay. So, and okay. So just for right now, don't heed the wires, okay? There we go. So that's what part of it's going to look like right there. Now, of course, you're not going to really get to see these in here unless I take off the top part of it. And where is it? Oh yeah. So I'm kind of working on this right here right now. This is gonna this board right here, this clamp card is gonna go on here. Right now I'm sanding it down little bit by little bit so it can fit on here. And then what I'll do is let me sorry for getting up. And so what I'm going to do, guys, is that when this gets situated there, and of course I'm gonna have to cut down the little screws that are gonna go and hold oops, the little screws that are gonna hold this down onto the saber itself. Those are gonna have to be cut down so that when they do hold the chassis a little bit, it won't tear into the chassis so much. Borat voice. Thanks, Tano. Tano is saying nice. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, baby, yeah. This saber's gonna make me run day. Got the saber blues, baby. No, no saber blues. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. So, like I said, I'm sanding this down little bit by little bit, right? Because eventually it'll slide right up on in there. Now, once I get it situated and it's slid, I'm gonna kind of measure out where the holes on the buttons are. I'm gonna try to see, and I'm gonna make a short hole down here. And whatever I'm gonna use, I'm gonna try to utilize some very, very tiny magnets that I have, and maybe a spring system that will allow me to uh, keep the buttons. When I press them down, I'm thinking maybe a little spring and the magnet system. I got things to work out that way. We're gonna see how that's gonna work out, right? Or whether maybe it'd be just a straight button, and I'll need something just to kind of hold it in place. Where what I can do is just kind of pop it off like this. So when I pop the clamp card off, it will actually have the button set up right here, um the little rods that will go right in here with the magnets, right? And I'll be able to kind of push them, play with it in and out this way and see how that's going to work out. And then the little rods will have the little magnets at the end of it glued to it. And I'm going to try to see how I can get that little spring system in there to kind of work in my favor for it. So that way I just pop this sucker out, right? And then you'll be able to see in there the buttons where they're at. And you'll be able to look in there and see the buttons the way they are. I don't think I'm going to put an LED in there because then I would have to pop out the LED too or move it over so people can see the buttons. But I think it'd be just better if I can just have it bare like this with the little button set up the way it is there. Be able to pop this off, and then you can see the buttons through the whole kit and caboodle right here, right? You'll be able to see the buttons just like that. Now, I I do not know, and I don't trust myself enough to be able to cut out, um, to be able to cut out where you'd be able to see the OLED screen on here, right? And I possibly could send this out to somebody to do that, but you know, then they would have to kind of set that OLED up in here, right? Inside the body, instead of just seeing the OLED through on there. But because this is a removable chassis, I think that would make it even that much better, right? So I think that would kind of be the best because since it's going to be a removable chassis, you'll be able to see everything in its glory that way, and it's all of its guts. And I think that would make it so much better in terms of doing that. So um, I think eventually, there might be a couple of hilts that I go and make that will eventually have the cutout. And before I order a piece, or when I order another body from the custom saber shop, I will already have them situated where they will cut it out. So when it comes to me, it's already done, it's already fixed. Now, eventually, I'm going to learn how to do that. But at this point right now, I'm not very comfortable doing that, with myself. And um, I do have the means to do that because of the Dremel. I do have Dremels, and so I do. But what I'd like to do is to go ahead and get some of the $20 dents, scratch and dent stuff, and practice on those. And then once I can practice on those, because eventually I'd like to make a really good crystal chamber that I have in mind that's stuck in my head and work on that and then go from there. And if I can get those pieces, then I can go ahead and learn to cut out and sand and prep the bodies for to accept the OLED screen like that, right on the outside, where you can see the OLED. Now, yes, I can put the OLED on here like this, and that is another idea that I had thought about doing because I had seen that on some other sabers, and it's a fantastic idea, right? Fantastic idea. Um, but I think if you were to kind of be synthesized in terms, let's say that the Sith came and he's got a very or Jedi, whatever, they got a very small um kyber crystal. They don't wish to really show it off all that much, or they don't even want to touch it. So let's say they kind of use that OLED screen to showcase that crystal. So you got to kind of think of it that way, right? Now, I do have another um, chassis that I got from Wicked Sin Sabers right here, and this is kind of odd though. I do like it. I do like it because you got the OLED screen right here. You got the steel there, but how to, you got your place here for you know, oh my God, my brain is going 100 miles an hour and my mouth can't even keep up. Let me slow down, guys, because my brain and my mouth are not working in sync together. So, this chassis is kind of odd because the way the battery would fit in here, right? And the battery goes all the way up to right here. However, I think you need to wire it just plain straight, wire the battery to it, and then kind of block it off from going anywhere in there. And that's kind of weird. So I'm not sure how he had the setup in here, and it is set up for a CFX on here, right? And it's kind of cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's kind of cool, but let me see. Now the recharge port right there kind of blocks the battery from going all the way in. But then you see the problem with that is that metal touching that battery like that, nah, you're asking for trouble. So that's kind of a bummer right there. You know what I mean? I'd have to figure out a different way to kind of do this. And for the speaker, you see my brain is starting to catch up now. And I told you, when you got dyslexia and everything goes backwards, you have to kind of slow down a little bit. So the speaker right here runs pretty decent, and everything runs pretty decent, but the way the battery's set up is just it's odd, right? And then to get the LEDs or the pins in there, you'd have to utilize one of these just like that. And that to me is still kind of odd. So, nah, it is what it is. Something like that, right? So, in order maybe for me to keep that battery in the middle in here and not touch anything, I probably would have to a little drill a little hole and put a little screw in there to hold the battery. But this is a build for another time, another long down the road time. So let's get back to this thing right here. All right, let's get back in here. So I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna take the OLED out, and well, the batteries, and I'm gonna take the crystal chamber out, and I gotta be careful with it, man, because and it's so pressure fit, man. And once I put it in there, I don't think I'm going to really mess with it a whole lot. Um, and the way that I situate the board in there, I'd be able to utilize that 90 degree if I wanted to get into the board, but the SD card comes out super, super easy. I mean, to show you right here. Let's see. I got an SD card that doesn't belong to it, but it'll still fit in there. And you just kind of play with it in there, right? And see, I mean, you got all kinds of room right here. The way Rich, really cut that section out. I mean, it's just genius. I mean, you just, you know, push it in and you push it out, take it out, and you pop it out, pop it in your computer, and there you go, right? So I love the way he set this up, and I'm really hoping that I can do justice to his chassis once I paint it up the way I kind of was talking about painting it up and getting it. And so part of the way that I was sanding on this, right, is I've got right here. I use one of these, and this works really good in terms for getting in those little tight areas. And I know that the sandpaper can get in there, but my hand coordination is a little better with the tip on here, and I can get in there. If guys, if this gets too loud, just let me know, because I really don't want to get too loud while I'm sanding this thing um down. But man, yeah, I mean it really does wonders on here. And just you take your time on doing stuff like this. Like Rob Petkow says, you know if you rush it, you wreck it. And that's the last thing that I want to do. And because it's taken a while, I don't know if you can actually see the surface right here. And when I'm, uh, let me see. Oh, there we go. So I've almost got the lines out right there, right? And you can kind of see where I've been going on here with this in terms of getting the lines out because the lines are up and down. So it's kind of, I mean, I have to actually get my old man eyes uh, like Megtooth says, the old man eyes right here, and just kind of go in and get it, sand it down in there, and just a little bit at a time, right? Just a little bit at a time, little bit at a time, and just kind of work into getting these lines gone. And like Tano said, to do some filler and use that filler and sorry guys, I stopped talking, man. My bad, because like sometimes when I get into this, I get my concentration, it just goes in there, and my brain won't do two things at once. Sometimes I can. Sometimes it's very hard for me to multitask at things, but I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get to the point where I can multitask, right? And I'm looking at you guys, and I'm looking at. I'm trying to look up here every now and then while I'm sanding this thing down right here, and it's actually doing a pretty good job of getting most of these lines out. It's very time consuming. So if you don't have a lot of patience, man, you got two choices. You can either have somebody do it for you that's got a lot of patience, or learn patience. See, even though I'm sanding some of this stuff right here, you could still see you'll still be able to see the lines in there. And the longer I sand, the better it'll get where there's no lines. And that's what I'm hoping to achieve. And then once I get that filler and primer in, then the filler and primer will be a lot smoother and it'll look a whole much better, right? Sorry guys, it's just getting a little hot in here, but anyhow. So on here also, let me take this off for a minute because I'm not going to stand here for a second. But what I decided to do was that instead of doing the filler lines in here, right, these gaps, I'm doing the outside lines, the in between lines, and I think those a lot will go really good with the oh, I want to say maybe. What do you think, guys? You think that the lines in between should go with the antique gold and then the top copper, right? Well, most of the body out here is going to be copper colored on the outside. And on the ribs is going to be probably antique gold. And on the inside here is going to be the antique gold. So I'm going to see the copper. We got the antique copper right here, right? So the last show that we got, and what is this one? This is, oh, bronze. Okay. So, um, okay. So maybe the ribs will go with the bronze color on the ribs. The rest of the chassis will be copper, the aged copper, right? And and on the inside here, we'll go with the antique gold on the inside and see how that's gonna work out. So we'll have some antique gold here probably to go in. I don't know if that would actually kind of go together with the chassis or if it will kind of, I'll have to make a little spot and see after how it will turn out. We'll see about that though. We shall see. We shall see how that's going to work out, right? And you know, and of course I got my kill switch. So my kill switch, and of course I'm gonna have to shorten these up too, because if we go and I put these in here, I'm gonna plug it in, plug it in. Okay, everybody shoot me now, because I cannot sing for crap. At least right now. All right. Do 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 do. All right. So the kill switch is right there, and it looks like I do have long enough wires. So the wires actually are a little bit long, so I will have to shorten those out when I am ready to set these into the terminals and to the board. Yippers. So let's see, guys. Let's see. Um, I'm excited. Let's see, and we'll get the body of the balance here. And I know I'm gonna have to kind of open that up, and then let's see here. Oops. Do the different bits. Where's the bit? And that's too small. Yeah, what the hell did I do with my bits, man? You see, I tell you, I am the most unorganized person in the world, but I don't let it stop me. Here we go. All right, we got it. Let's see, it's gonna come out a little bit. It'll come out a little bit there. Yeah, we're gonna line up the chassis. It'll come right there. Excuse me, guys. Let's see here. Just enough to there. And very little wiggle wiggle, not much. Not a whole lot, because once I get everything put in the way that it should go, shouldn't be a problem. And uh-oh. And see, that's the thing. Sometimes this thing might have to kind of come out a little bit. Have to be careful with that cross threading, because that's just kind of like that cross threading will get you if you don't heed to it, right? You want to make sure that you don't have any resistance. And I've got a little bit right here, so I'm not sure what's going on here. And push it down just a little bit. I might need to sand that just a tiny bit. Let me see. I might need to sand that just a tiny bit. You guys still with me? Let's see. I've been yapping and yapping, man. Oh, okay. Looks like I got a little bit of stuff in there, so I might need to grab the. Always clean your threads too, man. If you do any little thing to these. Oop, hold on. My eyes just decided to fall here. And then, how's your week, dude? Excuse me. How's your week going? Doing all right? Good, that little pick there. And let's see. You know, sometimes things can build up and you want to make sure that nothing builds up on there on your threads, because if things start building up on your threads, you can have a lot of problems, man. And you don't need that mess. So make sure that your threads are pretty cleaned. And if you like, sometimes when you're doing things with your chassis, and like what I'm doing right now, you want to make sure that, uh-huh, and there's still some stuff that needs to be kind of sanded down a little bit. And make sure that when you do any little thing to your threads or whatever, and you kind of get them down and make sure you clean those threads right away, so you don't get caught up in anything. And there's still a little. Do I need to go a little further down? I don't want to go too far down. See, there's something right there that has a little bit of resistance. So whenever you have a little resistance, man, just make sure you you try to get whatever it is, whether it's a little bit of sanding, maybe a little bit of cleaning, that resistance, you know, gets taken care of. You got, even if you had to back it off little bit by little bit and get back in there, you don't want to cross thread your threads, because then you ruin your whole thing. And there is, oh, yeah. So you got to make sure that you, even though you clean just that little bit, man, go all the way around. Do your due diligence and don't get crazy. Don't cut your corners, right? It's just those little specks, man. Little specks can throw everything off. See, and I'm still getting resistance right here. So what I'm gonna have to do, probably put a little bit more grease on there, but get get in there and just make sure that they get flat. And it don't take much either, man. It doesn't take much to get all of this messed up. So be quite careful. Let's see how far I'm going to get with that. A little further, but I think because I did the chassis like that, and sometimes without cleaning the chassis and rubbing it down, then you get a chance to see. Yeah, I think that's what happened. It's because I was doing some of that sanding on the thread, I mean, on the chassis here. It got into some of the threads and the threading, and then it puts in a little bit of the, um, it gets the threads dirty. And then you have that resistance, and you don't want that resistance in there. Everybody still with me, or they kind of like, fell asleep? I have that kind of monotone voice, guys and ladies. Yes, I do have that monotone. So if you're having trouble falling asleep, listen to Mundo. Yap, yap, yap. I promise you, you'll fall asleep in no time. They should put me as a sleep aid. Now everybody who's gonna come and watch my shows, they're gonna go. Hang on a minute, guys. I know y'all can still hear me, but I dropped something, and I hate to pick things back up. Oh my God, my dogs are going crazy. Titan's working. Oh, you mean you ain't fall asleep? Woo! That's good that you're working. At least you won't fall asleep, dude. Like I said, they should put my voice on the on a sleep aid thing, cause like every time y'all start watching me at this time of night, you're having trouble falling asleep. You'll fall right asleep, man. You'll fall right asleep. I just yap too much. No, seriously, folks, if you can't make fun of yourself, you can't make fun of others. So just remember that, you know, you can have fun. Make sure you make fun of yourself before you make fun of others. Not good. I'm letting my beer get hot. Ugh, don't like hot beer. No, no bueno. Oh my God, it's almost been an hour already. You guys are champs, man. You guys are champs listening to me. And I don't, a lot more people, a lot more knowledgeable than I am. I'm here for the newbies, man. I mean, you know, I'm in the corner of the newbies. And I will do my best to help you guys as much as possible. Now, if I can do this, I mean, for all the newbies out there, if I can do this, I know you guys can. And you guys will probably pass me up big time, you know. I want to go too deep with this screw, but I might have to go a little bit deeper just to, and then I'm gonna have to clean all these stuff again because every time I get in there, ugh, I have to go probably back in there with the pick and make sure that I didn't lock anything in on these threads, man. Now I do need to get a hold of my dude and Joe and see if he still wants to go through with helping me out and make my own saber line and see what happens. I'm hoping that will go through. I can't say that it will though, because he's a very busy guy, and what he does is he builds custom homes, so he's like super busy a lot of times. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Let's see, come back out and push it over a little bit, and then we'll see. Go in. I want to tighten it to the point where it's not going to go in, where it's not going to sit right. Because even the angle of the chassis, even the angle of the chassis can actually throw your threading off too. So, man, damned if you do, damned if you don't sometimes. Yeah. Let's see here. See if I can move it over a little bit and then go there. No, it went out and moved. Damn it. See, even the little small details like that. Hey, Jim, how you doing? Jim is gonna plan a full LED suit. Yeah, Jim knows a lot about the LED stuff, man. He'll kill it, dude. He will definitely kill it. Man. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, let's come back out a little bit. A little bit. Have that little bit of wiggle in there. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe I tightened it to the point where it just had no wiggle whatsoever. And I just gotta barely move things. It's getting there. Getting there. All right, what I might need to do is, come on. It's gonna get a little tight. Yeah, no, that's too much resistance right there. All right, well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stop right there, even though I'll figure this out in the next show. I should hopefully have it kind of ironed out. I'm probably gonna need to put some more grease on here and then just kind of situate where the where that chassis is gonna really sit, because I think it's sitting angled a little bit, and it's kind of like it's kind of hindering the straightness of it a little bit. And I think mm-mm. So wonder if, okay, that's gonna really push it down way down there. So I might have to drill that up just a tiny bit. Kind of crank it down in there and then sand it in there so it really kind of sits just right in there. Let's see. And I thank you guys so much for coming in, hanging out with me, and getting some of this preparation for this chassis here. Um, means the world to me, and you know, the last show I kind of like opened my mouth and I shouldn't have, and I apologize for anybody that I kind of maybe offended if I did, but when I didn't mean it the way I said, but for some of those that do videos, a lot of people for videos, it's their livelihood, and I do this for fun. I don't do it for money and anything like that, unless Civilized Sabers decides to go and get money for their stuff and everything else as well. I want to help people as much as I can that are just starting in the hobby. I want people to come and have fun and sit at the table, drink a beer, talk sabers with me. And that's what Anthony, when he started Saber Talk with him, Gabe, and Harris, that's all they wanted to do. They wanted to showcase sabers. They wanted to talk about sabers. They want to have fun talking about sabers. And I am so grateful for Anthony Space Wind Dude to allow me to do Saber Talk Sunday and kind of carry that torch there, so that it really showcases that people have a place to come and hang out. They can go to a lot of places. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people can go to all kinds of YouTube places, hang out, watch, their favorite YouTubers and everything else like that. Um, and I do appreciate every single one of those that go and do this day in and day out. They send videos out every single day. It is part of their livelihood, and I commend them for doing that every single day. Um, life throws you curveballs, and you just got to live with what you got. And a lot of times, some of these, a lot of YouTubers, to have great videos, and there's a lot of reasons why you should edit. I don't edit any videos. I love doing the live videos, even during my screw ups. Even though I do have my kids or wife coming in and saying things, it's a part of life. And if you're sitting at home with your buddies in your garage, you're talking about sabers, you're playing with the sabers, it's the same thing. So I want people to understand that they can come hang out in a place like this and talk sabers and have a drink and come and be friendly with each other, have a good time. That's what this is. It's to have a good time. And and I appreciate everybody that comes and hangs out here, even if it's for 2 or 3 minutes. It's cool. It's really good. Um, I look forward to Saber Talk Sunday with Mundo every Sunday. Oh, dude, Titan, thanks a lot, man. That means the world to me. It really does, dude. And like I said, sometimes the people that do this day in and day out, yeah, they really do appreciate people watching them because it's their livelihood. But on the second time, on the dime, they don't have a whole lot of time to really mess with a lot of life stuff or whatever have you will. Um, I would love to do more than I do, but at the same time, everybody's busy, and you know, I understand that, and I just want people to, like I said, to be happy when they come and hang out and talk and everything else, right? Pern, Pern's in the house. What's up, dude? So it is a way for people to escape. Even if you can't get outside of your house, if you can't get outside of your garage, if you can't get outside of your neighborhood, um, sounds like the Neil Tyson Degrassi podcast. I'm not trying to be like them, dude. Seriously and honestly, um, and be honest with you, Pern, I have actually not even watched them at all. So, if this is any way, form, shape, or what, I'm not to try to copy them in any way. So I hope if they're watching this, they understand. Excuse me, guys. I hope they understand that I'm not trying to do that. I just want a place for people to come hang out, have fun, talk sabers. Even if it's for 5 minutes, you come in, you leave, whatever, have you will. It doesn't matter. You show up, say, "Hey, Mundo, what's up?" and then take off. Hey, that's all good, man. Uh, I love all the comments on here. I'm hoping that yeah, no worries, dude. No worries. That's the thing is that everybody's got Star Talk. Their show's called Star Talk. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. I mean, see, that's the thing is everybody's got their little show and everything else, and I'm not trying to interfere with anybody's show at all whatsoever. Um, and a lot more people are a lot more interesting than I am. And I make no apologies for who I am or what I do. And again, I'm not dogging on anybody's thing. I commend everybody who does a show. I want to say God bless them. I hope that they will go far. They get a lot of views. I may not get a whole lot of views, and that's okay. That's okay, because I hope that maybe the quality is okay, and hopefully maybe my audience will get a lot bigger in the future. Um, especially for the newbies that come in and they want to watch this and just kind of like, hey, you know what, man, this is all right. He understands me, he understands that I don't have a whole lot of money. He understands I don't have a whole lot of options, but I get to talk about stuff that I can talk about that I don't get to talk about with anybody else. Maybe, maybe you tried to get onto those other shows and chime in, and you've gotten there and maybe they've ran out of time to get to your comment. And if that ever happens here, guys, just let me know. and I will do my best to try to get and tell you or respond to you because my intention is to get every single person who responds on here and acknowledge them. You know, and that's what I want to do is I want to make you feel that you belong here. I want you to feel happy. I want you to feel that you are welcomed in any shape, form, or matter. No matter what, come in, have fun on Mundo Madness Monday was used to be. Now it's Saber Talk Sunday. And I tell you, it's I do this for you guys, you know, and it's a way for me to have fun and talk sabers as well as to honor Space Windu, Anthony Legato, because this is his channel. Civilized Sabers is his channel, and he's given me the chance to run it. You know, Saber Talk Sunday. So make sure that you guys like and subscribe to Civilized Sabers for your blades. In my opinion, brightest blades on the planet. I don't have to say much more than that because not only do the blades speak for themselves, but even the collector's outpost has done, you know, trials and tribulations and shown which blades are the best, which blades are the brightest, what's not, what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, what's great. I tell you, go and watch Collector's Outpost, and you'll see that he is a fair person to judge all of these different blades and everything else. Um, again, I couldn't be happier doing this for everybody who comes on. And, you know, I do want to acknowledge that, you know, hopefully that Gabe and Anthony will come onto the show when they can. They are super, super, super busy. And you know, eventually, you know, we'll hopefully they'll come on the show and everybody will get a chance to see the three of us, you know, talk some sabers and everything. And in the meantime, I am trying to get some guests on here. I haven't heard anything just yet, and I may not, and I might. So there's a few people who've said, okay, well they can't. So that's you know, God bless them. They're busy, and I understand that. But I do want to try to get some good guests on the show. Hope I've had Cal from KR Sabers on here. I'm hoping I can get Carly King on here. I'm hoping I can get you know, the eccentric artisan. You know, if you maybe even Medina Lorian on here, you know, from Hyperdrive, if he's willing to come on one of these days, you know. And to all those that are watching this and you're considering coming on the show, hit me up, man. You know, let me know that you want to come on the show. I'll send you a link and we'll have fun talking sabers or how you got started in the business and you know, if you want to talk about those and or maybe your next few ventures coming up, let me know. I mean, that's the thing, you know, we gonna have fun doing that. And we talk about different topics as well. And in going forward with the show, I'm hoping to get, you know, some other thought makers on here, and I'm gonna see if maybe I can get Juan Sith back on here again eventually, and see how he's doing, how he's coming up with some new stuff. Maybe Jay DeLorean if he's willing to come on, if he's not too busy. But he's been super busy, and if you guys haven't seen his new one, Excalibur, oh God, um, you know, he's got some pretty new stuff coming out, and it's like exceptionally badass. Even oh my gosh, there are so many Kyberphonic and just Jay DeLorean, all these great font makers are just coming in with some great stuff lately. So keep an eye out for all those different font makers and the new stuff that they're coming out with. Check out their websites and everything. You know, let me see what else. So and I keep talking about it, but I still haven't done anything about it. My bad. Is the you know, the Mundo channel as well that piggybacks off of this one, and I'm on Instagram at set Mundo Cabrera at, at Mundo Cabrera 7007, right? Oh, Titan, I'm gonna try, dude. I'm gonna get a hold of him and I'm gonna see if he'll try to come on. That's another person because I do want him to see what, you know, I don't know if he actually ever got to see. I sent him the video on it, but I don't know if he ever got it or not to see the Roy Boy working in its full glory. So I'm hoping that I can, you know, get that blade going by next week. And then once I get that new blade going, then I can kind of get him on the show and really showcase what it can do. So I think a new blade will be in effect and see how I can really showcase Roy Boy because you know, of course, that blade that I had was kind of wonky, and so I'm hoping that this new blade that I make will kind of do the get it done better. So okay, guys, so that's gonna be it for the show tonight, and I thank you guys again. Mundo's much love, and I'm gonna brand out. You guys have a great week. Peace. Let me see. Nope, not peace, not just yet. No, I hope you have a peaceful weekend. I hope you have a peaceful week. Okay? May the force be with you guys. Peace. And it didn't go.
We pour whiskey.